Very controversial, interesting decision there as well. Fulham boss Marco Silva claimed that VAR overturned a penalty in the Manchester United win because the referee's original decision, I think was it Peter Banks? John Brooks, rather. Because the original decision was so bad. The penalty was initially awarded when Mateus Cunha went down under a challenge from Jorge Cuenca. VAR then ruled that it was a shirt pull, which happened outside the area, and he changed it to a free kick. Silva's point was that the penalty was given for the tackle, not for the shirt pull, and it should have been a drop ball. What is your take on this, Dermot?
Do you want to go on this?
I'll let you go first, Dermot.
Dermot, you set us up.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Us up.
It was really interesting because I was watching the game live. Referee gives a penalty. I went straight away, without doubt, I went, that is not a penalty. Said, the trajectory of the ball told me everything. Also, I was a forward, so I know full well the ball would have went that way if I'd have played it. So I knew that Cuenca had played the ball. Saw one replay. No doubt it's going to be overturned. And then they went back to the original entering the box. And when they see that, once they decide that's the one they're checking, there's no doubt he lets go before he goes into the penalty area. So he decided it's not a penalty, it's factually outside, so they gave a free kick.
So if which they said, they were checking it for the pull, not the challenge. So by that rationale, that's the right decision to give the free kick.
They're not, though. They're not.
That's what they said to the VAR.
The referee is not looking at the shirt pull. The referee, when you watch it, and we've watched it twice, he blows up. The referee, he blows up there. That's where he blows up. He gives the penalty for the tackle, not for the shirt pull. He's not giving it. He's not blowing his whistle there, and he's not seeing that decision. He makes his decision there. So that means for me, and I'd love to see what the audio say and what the referee's saying, is that the discussion is for the foul in the box, not for the shirt pull. Right, so then they decide then that it's not a penalty because he gets the ball. Well, then it's a drop ball.
Yeah.
It's a drop ball for Fulham. The Fulham keeper gets the ball, and that's it. But they go back to try and get themselves out of jail for the referee.
But we've got the audio, right? We can hear it on that show mic'd up, can't we? So presumably that's what you did. You're not going to say you said one thing and actually did another.
Have we got it?
Well, we will at some point.
Okay,
I'd imagine.
Well, that's what I can't wait to see. And if they do, and he says shirt pull, then I hold my hands up. But for me, I'm looking at that decision, and the referee makes a decision on the tackle, not for the shirt pull. And the problem they've got is they go back and they give the shirt ball, which is outside the box, which VAR shouldn't get involved in. It should be a drop ball for Fulham goalkeeper. They get the free kick, they bend it in, and they score.
Yeah. And to make matters worse, Fulham had a goal disallowed for a very tight offside on Samuel Chukwueze when Cuenca scored. When it takes this long to look for an offside, what was it, 3 minutes and 24 seconds, is it really clear and obvious, or is that re-refereeing football?
The problem is, Matt, that offside is offside. It's not clear and obvious, and it's Chukwueze offside. He is. If he's not offside, it's Cuenca offside that puts the ball in the net, and that would have been what took the time, because they're of the opinion it struck a Manchester United defender to bounce to him. Does it play him onside? Well, I say it strikes him, he doesn't play it. So there was a lot of moving parts, but either way, both players are offside.
I mean, come on. I mean, look how close that is. I mean, you're basically saying that he's offside because he can score with his arm. Well, he can't score with his arm. He can score with his shoulder. But, you know, when you look at that decision, how close is that decision? You know, I've watched... every time I watch it, I think, he's not offside. He's not offside. But that's what they've got the automated, they look at it, they've got the 5 centimetre leeway that they're allowed to give.
Which we have, which it should help, right? So it could be even worse than what you're saying in terms of even tighter, couldn't it, without?
Well, I just think, are we chalking off goals for that? You know, like that tight of a decision for, you know, maybe a shoulder that potentially might be offside. From the naked eye, you look at it and go, he's onside. But then, you know, you dive into the situation, the angles and everything, you give offside. I don't know. I feel like you want to chalk goals off for that. Where's the game going? I'd make the line. I was having this discussion. Make the line long. Make it bigger.
Make it bigger. You can have but that's going to cause issues as well. More debate, isn't it? If you have more margin for error, you've got to have a line somewhere.
You have to have a line somewhere. That's the issue. Right? And normally I would agree with Derm. Offside is offside now. It's black and white. But that one there, I just feels harsh.
I go back to what I said 2-3 years and said to me, if you had your wish, what would you change? And I said, it's called football. We go on the feet. And the reason so, you played up front, midfield up front. I was a striker. We're always leaning forward, aren't we?
Yeah.
So the forward, by definition, is always it's always the upper body that's offside. Leaning forward, you're on your run.
Yeah.
Your feet are there.
Right.
It's called football. Everybody's just going that. But
I thought if you had one wish, Derm, it would have been to have hair.
Some things aren't even wishable.
Right, just time for one more incident to go through from that game. Fulham were awarded a penalty after Harry Maguire dived in on Raul Jimenez. Maguire claimed he got the ball. Does he have a case looking at that? What do we think?
No, he's got no case at all.
Really?
Yeah, he dives in, it's dangerous. It's similar to when Isak breaks his leg, where it's last ditch from Harry Maguire. He's diving in, he knows that, he's going to get a shot away, and it's just a last ditch reckless tackle. It's really dangerous, that, and he could have broke his ankle. We've seen Isak, the Van der Ven dives in last ditch, breaks his leg. So you think you can get away with it, but you can't. That's a bad tackle, that.
And again, the travel of the ball tells you everything, doesn't it? The ball's gone forward to the keeper. It's come off Jimenez. Yes. If Maguire got the ball, it'd probably go for a corner.
OK, got loads still to come. We're going to hear from David Moyes as to why you can't celebrate anymore if you're a manager. Talk about that.
How to feel, honestly. Now I see the images in the pitch, of course you cannot see. There's a clear foul in the first action of the goal. It's a clear foul. And VAR is for a reason. And these small details make the difference. We're trying to do our best. It's the first goal they score. Maybe they don't score a goal. We win the game. But it's one game and another game and another game. And it's not possible. And honestly, I never speak about referees. I respect their job massively. But they have to pay attention to these things. He kicked the leg. It's so clear. It's so clear. He anticipated the leg of Mark. And it's a clear foul. But it's not today. It's just 2-3 games in a row, and I don't know why, honestly. I know we won too much and the people, they don't want us to win, but the referee has to be neutral. And for me, honestly, it's not fair. It's not fair because we work so hard in these situations now to make these decisions that you have to move on, of course, but you need to come back. But at the end, when everything is finished, you are frustrated because it's so clear, the foul. He kicked the leg, and then, as of course, with the push of the action and the ball gets in. But we have to pay attention to these little things. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for everyone because this league is like this. It's about small details and everything counts. So I think today is a very tough day for us.
OK, well, we'll get into the decision itself in just a moment, but we've got to start with those comments. Very strong stuff from Rodri. He says the referee has to be neutral. What did you make of it?
The interesting thing is, Matt, that the big debate at the time was, is it offside? Nobody thought of a foul. If you look at the City players, they all appeal en masse for offside. The check was for offside. So I think that's come out of looking afterwards. I welcome Jamie dressed like a ref to the programme, which is fantastic.
We all are.
Got the red card for it.
When we watched it, we debated it last night, actually, and Jamie said clear foul. He's come in this morning, he's looked at it, he said, do you know what, Derm? He definitely gets the ball first. Then he's just whispered to me it's a foul. And I think that's how tough a decision it is.
Well, we'll get into the specifics of the actual occasion. But what about the comments, though, Dermot? He's questioning the neutrality of referees. Is that on?
Well, he shouldn't do that. We all know that. But I think it's a knee-jerk reaction from having lost 2 points, isn't it? A massive 2 points with Arsenal winning on Saturday 4-0, establishing that lead. At one point, they look as though they've tracked that back by 3 points. Now they've only tracked it back by 1. So, they're under pressure. So maybe that's a knee-jerk reaction to that.
Poor comments, I think, from him. I think when you look at the situation, obviously we'll get into the decision, but you can't come out as a player and blaming the ref and start saying that there's some sort of conspiracy that they don't want Manchester City to win. I can assure you, everyone in the country wants Man City to win this title and not Arsenal. Especially
not all
me.
of us.
I can assure you that is the case, Rodri. So, for him to come out and say that, I think it's, Arsenal had these decisions last season where they was moaning about refereeing decisions. Now, Man City are moaning. Look, I think it's poor. I think it's poor from Rodri, and I think that the PGMOL will look at that and maybe, he can get fined. I think it's poor comments. They've thrown the game away. They're winning the game 2-0. You know, they're comfortable, they're in control. They throw it away because of their fragility this season. And, you know, you can't then come out and blame the ref. Because we look at the decision, and actually, the more I look at it, the more I think it's a goal.
Really? OK, let's have a look at it again, shall we? I mean, does he not...
He steps across him,
kicks through the defender, though.
No, but look, Gay steps across him. And obviously, you know, when you're looking at consistency this season, you know, that they have been given for fouls. But the action has already... Dominic Solanke's action's already started. And he gets a touch on it before he gets his, you know, the back of his calf. He does get a toe on it. So that, for me, I look at it and say, can you let that one slide? He gets enough on it for me to send the ball in the direction of the goal, which makes it on target. So when obviously we saw this, you know, we had a chat about it this morning, I thought, it's a foul. The more I watch it, the more I think the more I think maybe you can give that decision. And I can see why the argument is that VAR do give it.
But Dermot, is that not, if that's done the other way, that's a penalty, isn't it? If a defender does that to an attacker in the box.
Well, we were discussing this last night, Matt, and, you know, you have completely changed, haven't you? Seen it?
Yeah.
Seen it now. But if you look, if the roles are reversed, right from the Gyökeres with Pope, you know, you get a touch on the ball, you play the ball first and then you catch the man, or then you play the ball, it's given. But there is no doubt whatsoever that Solanke does get the first touch. You know, he gets the first touch on the ball, it's going away. Gay's stepped across him. All right, his body lifts it over the thing. But there, you can see he does quite clearly get the ball first. There's going to be contact, there's no doubt about that. And often we see players make a tackle and then as resulting contact, we play on. But as I said, this started last night, didn't it? We've gone on now.
Well, the telltale sign for me was the fact that he was talking at the VAR gave an own goal, right? And so that was where I was thinking, well, hold on, they've put themselves in a hole here, because if...
Do you think it comes off Gay last?
It does come off Gay last, but I think Solanke...
That's a foul, isn't it?
But Solanke touches the ball, and he touches the ball towards the goal. So...
Which is his equivalent to
Which
goal.
is equivalent to him hitting a shot on target, right? So you have to give him the goal. When you look at... And I've only really seen this angle this morning.
Is it here.
There. He touches the ball. He touches it, he pokes it forward. Yes, he catches Gay.
Is he not catching him as he's touching the ball?
He gets the ball, then he gets Gay, doesn't he? So
I think
that's the
look, you know, look, he touches the ball. Yeah, OK, Gay. Look, he catches Gay.
Also, Gay comes across him.
For me, the Solanke's action, he's already making the action, you know, and Gay steps across him. What do you want Solanke to do? He's trying to have a shot, and he steps across him, but his action's already started. So for me, the action started, he gets a touch on the ball, and he pokes it forward. All right, it comes off Gay's shin and goes in. I think it's a goal.
Let me put it this way, Dermot. If that is disallowed, do you think there'd be an uproar as to why it was disallowed?
I think it's one of them decisions, Matt, that it's with the fact we've discussed it so long, and we're coming to this conclusion shows it. It's got to be an on-field decision. Whichever way the referee jumps, there's no clear and obvious error because it's so like that. Empower the referee, let him make the decision. The referee made the decision, no foul. The video, he would then say to the referee, to the VAR, I didn't give a foul because I think Solanke's got the ball first. You look at the video, and he has. So I think, you know, the referee's right on the field, and the VAR's right not to get involved.
Can you imagine me and Dermot in the VAR room already?
Well, you're agreeing. I mean, you know, this is a great start. I wasn't expecting this.
It took us 10 minutes.
It's not going to stay like this, I tell you.
From last night.
Yeah, you had a warm-up. Right, lots of Spurs fans wondering how Rodri stayed on the pitch after these two tackles while he was on a yellow. What do we reckon here, Dermot? Should he have been given a second yellow for either of these?
I think... whether he should get a second yellow or not, I think he's lucky. I think he's really, really lucky. But I will say he's got a really, really clever manager, because once he's done this, his manager's obviously said, hang on, he's walking such a tightrope now, the referee's going to give the next one, and he subbed him. Now, I would say proactive, good management.
Well, he's clever, he knows, and that's a telltale sign for any ref and, for anyone on the pitch. You make a couple of bad decisions in terms of getting it, you know, as a player. The game's caught up with you. Rodri's still trying to get back to, you know, his 100% fitness. The game's going thick and fast, and you're a bit late. the referee drags you. Sorry, if your manager drags you off, you know then obviously then he's looking at it saying the game's caught up with you. He should have got sent off. The first one on Conor Gallagher, it's a yellow card. It's a yellow card. He has to go. You know, he's late. He's high. He catches Conor. It's a yellow card. He's got to be sent off.
Right. Just to make the City fans happy, we're going to have a look at this one as well, and why Erling Haaland wasn't awarded a penalty after Radid Dragusin looked like he wrestled him to the floor. It was a bit WWE, this, wasn't it? Why wasn't that given, Dermot?
I was watching this, and I heard the VAR say, when they checked it, when this happens, the ball isn't in play. The ball was still dead at the corner. So that's where Dragusin got really, really lucky, because if that had been flighted in, there's no doubt whatsoever the VAR would have... And there's the clue. Look, not looking at the ball, just looking at the man. Yeah. And all the time. If you're not looking at you've got to know where the ball is.
You agree with that, Jamie?
Yeah, look, do I agree with them decisions from corners? I think, people are pushing and shoving in around the box all the time, but we have seen this season that they will give them decisions if you have got your arms around someone and you're impeding him in his run. I don't like it, but I feel like that is the way that the game's gone. I mean, Haaland, you could hit him with a barge pole, he won't go down. And he goes down after Dragusin's just holding him. He knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah. He's trying to...
All players do that, don't they, in the box?
Well, but they're trying to con the ref. They know now that VAR will look at that and say, oh, that's a penalty. I'm going to go down. He's not been fouled. Right, he's holding him, but he hasn't tripped him up. That's where I think, it's got a bit soft. And now players are utilising the rule, utilising VAR to con the ref. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to con the ref.
I think what they're trying to do, James, they're trying to force the referee's hand, aren't they? Force him into making the decision. Put him in that position, make a decision one way or the other.
But we ask people to stop diving. We ask players, don't dive, don't dive. You get booked if you dive. And from every corner now, as soon as someone's got your arm round you, he's going down. Yeah. And VAR will give a penalty. Yeah. So what do you expect from players? Players are going to dive because you're allowing that to happen. But we want people to stop diving in open play. But then from corners you're giving penalties for someone who he hasn't even made a proper foul. He's just holding him.
You do sense it's something that could explode, couldn't it? If suddenly you've got 4 people going down every corner, it's going to be impossible to police, isn't it?
Under Michael Carrick, we thought that they would slip up. Was it a fluke against their City rivals, Man City? No. Was it a fluke against Arsenal? No. And then mighty Fulham come and you get the job done again. Drew, talk to me about it, because everyone marked this game as a true test to see how this team had changed.
No, Leroy had an unsuccessful hate watch, so sorry for that, Leroy. But United were amazing that game. I mean, despite the last couple minutes of the second half where they tied it up and it looked like the rivals were going to have the last laugh at the end of the day, Benjamin Sesko, the best super sub ever, scores.
I think there's a few that have been better in your time at Man United, namely Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, anyway, continue, Drew.
No, but it was a really good game. Obviously, they gave us a scare at the end because United always try to make it hard for us all the time. But I thought it was a really good show of character from the boys on the pitch to dig in and finally get that winner, thanks to Bruno's feint, and especially Casemiro having another great performance as well.
Looks, it's taken Michael Carrick 3 games to equal Amorim's best ever run in the Premier League. Yeah. And I think it's a good question. Do you think that Amorim's tenure was wasted time? See how quickly Michael Carrick's gone in there as an interim manager and turned it around. Do you think that was wasted time, and now United are where they need to be now going forward?
To be honest, Amorim didn't exactly know how to get the best out of these players during his time, unfortunately. But Carrick, he knows how to get the best out of these players, especially in a short amount of time. I mean, he's been there before. He's been a player in one of the best eras in Manchester United history, and he knows how Manchester United can play, this fun football that we are enjoying again finally. And yeah, it's just something that Manchester United fans should all be excited about and should be looking forward to each week under this type of, character football that we're playing.
You spoke about Michael Carrick's illustrious career as a player. In such a short space of time, he's also done very well against some of the best managers. You look at this graphic here we've got from his 2 stints with the club. He's got one up over Emery when he was at the Spanish side Villarreal. Then you look at Tuchel with Chelsea, Arteta on 2 occasions, more recently Guardiola, and then Marco Silva against Fulham. So the question is, do you give him the job, or is it still too soon to decide, Drew?
Now, isn't that just the golden question? Listen, I think we need to do something different this time. I think we need to just continue to give Carrick time and wait until the end of the season. If he gets us top 4, or even if he, gets us top 3 because Villa are slipping up.
Where do you think you are going to finish? That's a really good question, because you are in the top 4. You are 5 points behind third place Aston Villa, and then 6 points behind your City rivals. Where do you think Manchester United, with only Premier League action, is going to finish come May?
Well, do you remember the last time we were 12 points behind a league leader during this time of the season?
No.
No. Do you know what? No, was it Newcastle? Was it? When was that, Drew? Why don't you remind us?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Back in '94, but hey, history could repeat itself. Who says no?
Well, Drew, your voice went very high there. Your voice but you know what? I've been all season, I've been calling Man United fans delusional. They've been coming on here telling me they're going to win the Premier League title, and my reaction has been delusional. Do you believe Man United can win the title this season, Drew?
I don't have full belief of that, because the thing is, we're gonna have to take it game by game. You never know which teams will be slipping up, and we're in good run of form right now. But the thing is, it's near impossible to win out every single game, despite playing 1 game a week. But I think this team can absolutely push for a top 3 finish. I think we can definitely finish either 3rd or 2nd, possibly. But you know what? I'm gonna say 3rd place.
3rd place.
Okay.
Okay. So who's going to drop out of the current 3? Is that Man City or Aston Villa?
Aston Villa.
Okay. You didn't want to say Arsenal. I wasn't going to say Arsenal. You didn't want to say Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, Arsenal. No, I mean, the thing is, they've been pretty consistent all season long, but you never can trust them during this time, because they're either going to bottle it or not.
You had to throw that in there, didn't you? Drew, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy this incredible wave that you Man United fans are on. Of course, 3 out of 3 wins.